Hey everybody, Robert from Black Belt Gaming. It is November the 8th, and I have a bit of time early this afternoon to get in a few more turns, see if we can make some more progress here in our scenario. Thank goodness the old save games are working now. You may remember I attempted a playthrough of this. Well, it's been years ago, and the save game function didn't really work correctly, and I lost my game. Ended up replaying that some years later and played it from beginning to end, I think pretty much in one sitting. But I've definitely put the save game to the test this time, and it's working all right. So let me take you to the board. We've got our investigators pretty close together here around the ballroom. I believe that's what it is. There's a ritual dagger on the floor. I think I'm going to have Agatha try to get that and check this out. And now armed with the crowbar and a sledgehammer, I may have Joe Diamond maybe head up and see if we can go to that root cellar and see what's in there. We are currently holding 2 out of 3 keys, I believe. And I think to open a certain door, and I'm sure there's nothing good in there. I'm wondering why we're even here. But I'm sure there's something awful in there once we get these 3 keys to open the door. But there's this token here, and I wonder if this is the ghost. I don't know if we should speak to this thing or if this thing's going to start moving around and attacking us. I'm not sure. But I believe the guy that was here that had his arm cut off, I guess by his parents, and offered to some dark god. I wonder if this is his ghost, and I wonder if he's been trying to help us, because he was trying to keep this thing locked away, and now his spells or whatever he had going connected to his life force is starting to weaken. So he might be a friend if that's his ghost. So a couple of things to show off here. I ordered some very inexpensive card holders and a very cheap dice tower. This actually turned out to be a little nicer quality than I expected. It's got a little magnet on the back. It's not very big, so it can't take any large size dice, but I think for most of my dice it should work okay, so I thought I might give this a try. So let's get started. We'll go to the map. Sort of a bird's eye view. We've got Agatha right here in the space with the ritual dagger. Let's start with her. Let's spend one of her actions to pick this up, and this will allow her to gain an extra die when casting spells. She is wounded. She can only take the move action once on her turn. She'll spend her second action to move over and her third action to check out this token. So let's see what it is. Strange symbols. So she's going to search these runes or whatever. Try to make sense of the setup by interpreting the symbology. Tap. Oh, it's a puzzle. But it's lore. Very good. She's good at lore. Her lore skill is 5. So this is a new puzzle for me. Let me take a look at it here. All right, I don't really recognize how this will work. There's a big space here and these markings up here. So are you supposed to move those into the boxes, or are you supposed to move those down here to this big box down here? I don't know. Looks like I can move this. Does that count? Does that count as a movement? I don't know. Or do you get like a number of guesses? So if I hit guess, what happens? Okay. So correct position, correct position. Correct symbol, correct symbol. So does that mean we just need to switch those two? Like that? Oh, so I totally messed that up. So it's not in order. All right, so I was following the squares to think that that was in order. So I guess the ones I switched around were in the right places. So those need to go back how they were. So the blue one we'd put here. That was probably correct. And this one may have been here, and that was probably correct. So we may need to switch this one first and then put this one here. All right, so we got it in 3. Though the particular importance of the symbols in the western quadrant of the circle escapes you, you believe that the ritual performed here was used to channel some great power. The word seller, I knew it, is mixed in with an arcane script over and over again. Gain 1 ritual components item and 1 clue. Okay. So that will give Agatha 4 clues now. That's pretty good. She has 1 point of movement left. But we're still missing a key. Maybe she's going to move as her last movement. We both need to get up this way to the northeast of the map. I don't know whether to have her move out here or if that's just a waste. Let me think. We both have influence. Both my investigators have an influence of 3. Shortest path to get to there looks to be for her to move outside. So for her last point of movement, she's going to move out there. She's in the same space as Joe Diamond. Let's head over to Joe. Joe's turn. First movement point. We'll move up here. I think I'm going to let Agatha talk to the ghost. I'm going to keep him moving on because he is not wounded currently. I think for a second action, we're going to do some maintenance here and use that King James Bible as an action to drop our face down horror card. So that gives us the 1 damage of each type for Joe. So that's his second action. Third action, I think we're going to move 2 more. And we'll move up here and over here. And I think that's where we'll stop for Joe. So mostly just moving and consulting the Bible for guidance. Let's see what happens. Hey, none of us are indoor, so there's no effect. Oh, cool. All right, we can reset and keep going. All right, we're back to Agatha. Agatha's going to spend a point of movement and limp up here and then go through the door and into the dining room. And she's kind of stuck there now. She can only move once per turn. Second action, I guess we'll try to talk. The dining table floats just off the ground, and the specter of a man with his arm missing below the elbow paces the room. All right. Well, I'm not going to attack the ghost. We're going to spend a second action, and let's ask him what's happening here. I think I know who he is, but what's happening here? The ghost eyes seem to peer into your very soul. Friendship, not friendship, influence. Let's see. Her influence is 3. And I don't have any real bonuses here, so we got 1 success there. Not the greatest, huh? No way to spend a clue token or anything, so just 1. In the span of a moment, you are forced to relive some of your most terrible memories. Suffer 2 face down horror. The ghost appears to sigh. Very well. The ghost pauses as if listening for something. I was attempting to perform an important ritual when someone interfered. I cannot hold these forms long. If you wish to know the truth, seek out the journal I have stored in the shed. I believe you will find it quite illuminating. So we get 2 clue tokens. That takes her, well, gives her like 6 now. But she took 2 face down horror, face down, thankfully. I'll add those to her sheet. All right. So journal. So a journal in the shed. So he's still standing there? I can't move again. I wonder if I can speak with him again. Who are you? The spirit looks down at his body. Do you not recognize me? In the flicker, a young boy stands in front of you, and another, a teenage boy. Then the spirit returns to a man. I am the spirit that haunts this house. I am the one trying to scare you off. If only you would listen. I thought if I could not save everyone from the monster, I could at least stop you and those patrol officers from being its first victims. Gain the conclusive evidence. All right, we've got that. You blink at the dining table, attempts to thump to the ground. The spirit is gone. Discard the token. Okay, so yeah, I didn't think we needed to attack that ghost. So let's maybe head over to Joe. We're going to spend his first point of movement to move up here, and he is facing the, what is it? Well, I forgot what it's called. This one, the root cellar. Let's explore. In a few places, so we'll spend a second action to explore here. In a few places, the weathered wood has begun to warp. You peek through and find bricks obsessively covered in arcane markings. Even if you were able to cut through the wood, the brick would surely stop you. The owner of this house went through a great length to keep anyone from entering the cellar. You will not be able to enter the cellar from here. Really? I've got a sledgehammer and a crowbar. Well, that's not what I expected. Well, I thought there would be a key or something to find there, but I can't get in there. So I've got 2 keys, but... Huh. Well, I have another movement point available to me. I don't see any other search tokens on the board. And there's just the one explore token that we couldn't get through. I'm a little confused here. Let's take a step back with that remaining movement point. That leaves us with 1 action remaining. So let's move again. And that'll put us just off the dining room. So maybe one of us can hand a key to the other one, because I can't recall if it was 2 or 3 keys, but I think I only have 2. Anyway, we've got our investigators close by. Let's see what happens now. Your hand suddenly begins to burn. This affects the investigator who has a light source. I think we did pick up our lantern. Yeah, she picked up her lantern. I don't think Joe has a light source. He is loaded with weapons. Absolutely loaded with weapons, but no light source that I can see. So she's got it. So this is going to be Agatha. The fire from your light has spread to your hand. You drop what you are holding and clutch your wounded hand. Suffer 2 face-down damage. Drop 1 random light source. Before you realize it, the fire has spread all around you. Place a fire in your square and each adjacent square. Wow. Okay, so I've set the fires. I wasn't sure if fire would spread to the outside, like through the door, but I guess it would. So I'm going to go ahead and put one outside. And then she took 2 face-down damage. So she's got 2 face-down horror, 2 face-down damage. And the fire is spreading. She dropped her lantern. So I think that's everything we needed to do. All right, so fire all around. All right, let me take you back to the board here. We have this fire situation. And I think I'm going to start with Joe since he has the better agility. He's got a 5 in agility. But for his first action, I'm going to reset my little tokens here on the character cards. He will take damage from the fire if he does any other action other than move. So first action, he's going to move 1 space to avoid the fire. Second action, we're going to attempt the extinguish fire action. And I hope I'm reading the rules right with how this is going to work. We'll get our little dice tower. And let's see, 5 dice for him. I don't know if that was a very good roll or not. 1 success and 1 potential success. So if we go back up here, we spend a clue token that will allow us to get 2 successes out of that roll. For his remaining movement point, he's going to move and extinguish this fire. That's one of the successes he's spent. For his next action, we're going to move again, and we'll extinguish the fire in Agatha's space. He's got 1 point of movement left, but either to the right or left, that's going to move him into a fire space. I'm not sure if I want to do that. The problem is, if you don't deal with a fire, it's just going to continue to spread. So I really don't think I want to move out into the fire. So let me stop him there, and I think I'll go to Agatha. Agatha's agility is 3. It's decent, but it's not as good as Joe. So she's not starting her turn or taking actions on a fire space. She's got 2 successes there. I would say for her first action, it's going to be extinguish the flames. Second action will be to move. Actually, no. First action would be to pick up her lantern again. So she's going to get that again. Second action, extinguish flames. Third action, she's going to move and put out this fire. And she has 1 more point of movement left. And since she's kind of slow, I'm going to go ahead and let her move out into the hall. So we got 1 fire out here. Maybe Joe Diamond can do something with that later. So let me make sure I got this right. We did pick up, extinguish, move. All right, so she's done. Again, we're playing with the recommended 3 actions per investigator instead of 2. We didn't do anything but deal with fire that turn. Place a fire in a space adjacent to a space containing a fire. Well, let me take you. Which way? I'll just spread it over here into the garden. All right, we did that. In the distance, you hear a sudden scream and howls of rage. The sound is gone as soon as it begins. The investigator with the lowest willpower in the space with the most investigators. So, well, he's in a space by himself. This is Joe. So what happens? Your vision tints red, and a powerful anger courses through you. Suffer 2 horror. Willpower -1 will negate. Well, that's me rolling 2 dice. Well, we got 1 success and 1 potential. Let's spend another clue token. That's 2 successes, so we avoided that damage, thankfully. In your fury, you lash out at your companions. For each horror you suffer, So we didn't hurt anybody. And we avoided taking horror damage, so that's good. All right, starting up the next turn. I don't know why I feel so compelled to put out this fire, but I'm thinking about doing that. I'm going to have Joe Diamond take an action to extinguish the flames. Maybe it's because I used to work not only in higher ed as a professor, but also in public safety. I feel compelled to put out this fire. Okay, we're going to take 5 dice because his agility is 5. And we have 2 successes. So that's good enough. Let's spend a second action, and he's going to move and extinguish and move and extinguish. Last action, he's got a movement of 2. He's going to head right back into the dining room where he was. Agatha, it is her turn. 1 movement per round for her. She will move up and over 1 space. And I just don't know if there's anything else she can do. 1 movement per turn. I think that is it. So I think that's it for the investigators. She's got 2 other actions available, but I don't think she can do anything. Let's go to the program. The fire spreads out of control. Actually, fire is extinguished. The lights flicker, and a great booming noise is followed by the sound of cracking wood and brick. The whole house shudders and sways. A strange, spectral voice chants from somewhere unseen, and suddenly it is over. But great cracks have appeared in the floor and walls. Whatever force is in the cellar is close to escaping. Each investigator suffers 3 face-down horror. I think we're starting to get hit pretty hard here. Will negate this. Joe Diamond's got a willpower of 3. If he spends 2, or actually no, he can use his focused here. You may discard this to convert all of those to successes. So he's going to do that. He's going to use his willpower to avoid this damage. Agatha's willpower is 4. 3 successes for her. 3 successes and a potential. So she also has avoided the worst. You know what? What I should do to make up for the last turn and say happened was Agatha spent 2 actions using her medical textbook. And that will allow her to discard some damage here. So she can discard these 2 cards. That would have been the smart thing to do. Just remembered I had that. So that's the situation. They've avoided the worst of the scare. You had not noticed before, but there is something strange about the walls in this room. Nobody's in the ballroom, thankfully. All right, I think I'll start it with Joe. I want him to catch up to Agatha. Joe's gonna move. He is not wounded. 1, 2. Second action, 1, 2. He's still got his Bible, but he's dealing with hallucinations. And the Bible won't get rid of that. That's a face-up horror card. And I'm wondering if he should give his key to her. Let me see how this action works. All right, last action. He's going to trade with Agatha. He's going to give her a 38. I know she has spells and she's better at that, but just in case. We'll give her a 38 revolver, and we're going to give Agatha the brass key. So she's got what I believe is just both of the keys. I don't think we have any more. That's why I'm confused. If we can't get this door open, I don't know what else to do. So those are his 3 actions. Let's go to Agatha. Agatha's going to spend her movement to go here. And we're going to go to this door. You can explore only if you have the brass key, the silver key, and the cult sigil item. Okay, well, we would have given that to her as well, so she's got all of those. So that's what the third thing was. Okay. Here we go. The basement is almost completely empty except for the thick layer of dust and series of cobwebs. Basement tile. All right, we have placed it. Search token here. What does it say? A box is filled with strange statues and books. And an explore token going to this god-awful cellar. Otherworldly noises come from the other side. The contents of the box on the far right of the basement shake and clack against one another. Wait a minute, what happened? The box slides across the floor suddenly as though someone is moving it. So we got to move the token we just put down. Oh, the lights in the basement flicker and buzz, and you see a spectral shape taking form. So we need the purple token. All right, I found it. Person token, a spectral shape. You may move 1 square into the area. So she can move into there. And I think she had 1 more movement point left over. So she'll go ahead and go down the steps to the bottom. So let's see, that was movement. 1 movement, explore, and then she finished her movement. So that's 2 actions. She can't move again though. And I don't think she has anything else. She's got a broken bottle, a revolver. I don't know if we want to... we're not going to shoot at a ghost. I'm not really sure if there's anything else we should do. And I wonder if that... that specter, I wonder if that's not a friendly one. I don't know if I can interact with that token from my position or not. He is technically 2 spaces away. I'll take you to the computer program. I'm standing right here, and he's over there. I'm not sure if I can mess with that token from a distance. I'm going to touch it and just see. Okay. He's standing guard. Do I need to be in the space to do anything there? I think technically I do need to be in their space to interact with a token. So that is all she can do. Yep, I can't think of anything else that we can do here. So I think she's out of actions for the turn. I mean, she can only move once, so let's move on. The house trembles. The binding on the cellar breaks. Discard the Explore token. Uh-oh. A terrible being flickers in and out of existence before reality bends around it and it becomes whole. Spawn a star spawn as indicated. Oh boy. He's a big one. I guess I'm supposed to get him on here somehow. See if I can. I don't have these glued on or anything. He's a big fella. Wow. No wonder we had shotguns and what else? Rack spells and all that. He's huge. All right, Star Spawn is on the board. All right, through the magic that has kept the beast confined to the cellar, has eroded the house itself, seems to fill with power that will slow the beast's escape from the house and grounds. The walls glow with arcane energy. Though the front door shudders and vibrates, the wood starts to splinter loudly. The binding magic seems to be particularly weak there. This is the exit. So maybe we don't want this thing to reach there. If the horror can reach the exit, it will be able to escape the magic that keeps it bound to this house and wreak havoc on Arkham. You must stop it. Defeat the monster or find a way to seal it away before it escapes. Electricity crackles in the air. The Miss Oath event affects investigator in the kitchen. Nobody's in the kitchen. Star Spawn moves one space toward the exit. Then, if it is not in the same square as the exit, it attacks. All right, let me make sure I'm going to do this right. This can be a little tricky. The Star Spawn moves one space toward the exit. Then, if it is not in a space with an exit, it attacks an investigator within range. There are no investigators within range. The Star Spawn moves one additional space toward the exit. Well, see, that time it moved and then it moved. This is a little confusing sometimes, I think. So the other time with the cultist was wrong. But then, okay, I'll try to follow along here. 1, and then it's going to move an additional space 2. And it's trying to just get right here. So is it going to go through the kitchen? Or would it have come... It didn't say it's going to come through the door. We'll have to resolve horror checks. We're not within range of this thing, so... Let me go back. Yeah, that Explore token is still there. So he went out this way. He's out into the garden yard area. So what's he going to do? I guess he's going to go through the kitchen. Something like that.